Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. I want to thank you guys and gals for joining me. You know, tomorrow is a big deal. If you guys are watching the, if you're watching the Euro, as you guys know that the ECB just met, the Euro held exactly where it needed to hold. I mean, if you look at the hourly chart here, this is the previous resistance, current support. We basically came pretty much down to it. I was hoping for a little bit bigger of a dip towards the 50 to the, maybe the 70 right here. It just didn't quite make up, but the Euro is holding up pretty well. And there's the EU Council meeting on the European Recovery Fund that's going to happen over the weekend. My opinion is whatever happens over this weekend is going to determine the future, not just for the euro dollar, but it's going to be the future for the dollar index as a whole. I know that's a pretty big statement, but you got to think about it. And I'm just going to do some quick, calculations with you. All right, like let's imagine the euro, which this is as most of you know, this is what have been envisioning for the euro to rally to. That takes us to 118 roughly. We're not going to go there tomorrow, but we would go up there, probably within the, maybe even by year end. Okay, potentially. Obviously, there's big resistance at 15. That's going to be first and foremost. But you can go here and do some like longer term calculations on what you think the hold on really quick. Let me reset this. What do you think realistic expectations for the euro are? Whoops. The 618 comes in at 118. So let's do this. You know what? Let's do this. Do that. Okay. The 30. We're basically at the 38% retracement right now, just a little bit above it. The 50% comes in at 116, and 118 is the 618. So that seems logical. Okay, that's fine and dandy. Talking about the Euro Recovery Fund, there's European Union, stocks rally, everybody loves it. Bing, bam, boom, here we go, right? So if that's the case, what happens to the rest of the currency market? Well, you look at the cable, the cable's right up against its 200-day moving average. We break above this 126.80. We should test 128 and maybe even make it to 129 and change, or maybe even 131, right? I mean, and that doesn't even break the cable out of its down. This is a descending wedge, by the way. Doesn't even break it out of its descending wedge. But I mean, you can think about the cable. If the euro decided to want to rally a couple hundred pips, and the cable could very easily rally, 131 and change easily. You look at the Aussie. The Aussie, we break above this 70.60 and, we'll probably trade 72, 74 cents. Kiwi, we're above this multi-year trend line. Why can't we go to 68 cents, maybe even 70 cents? Dollar Canadian, I mean, dollar Canadian could at least, I know it's been holding up really well, but it could at least visit 132 or maybe these supports down here at 30.50 again, right? Dollar Mexican peso could very easily visit 21. Dollar Swiss, who knows where the dollar Swiss is going to go? It's manipulated anyway. Dollar yen is one of those that, we may dip till 104, but we're going to find buyers down here. So what I'm trying to illustrate is, I think that what happens this weekend with the European Council meeting is going to not only move the euro, but it's going to move the rest of the dollar pairs. Now, the flip side to that is, look, they decide the negative to that would be, or the opposite of that would be, they decide not to have a meeting, or decide to have another meeting. They haggle over the numbers, how much to put in reserves and how much to put in loans and how much to give out. and maybe those numbers come in a little shy, but then they want to schedule another meeting. If that's the case, and we're talking about August or September, I mean, the euro could roll over, and then we get a false breakout double top, and then the dollar really takes off as a result of that. So I think the market, what happens over this weekend matters more than just what's happening with the euro. I think it's going to do wonders to the rest of the FX market, and I'm hoping so too. The reason why is because I really just wanted to, for us to get a little bit of a move here. So I hope that made sense to you guys. Let's see what else I wanted to cover today. Is there anything that you guys wanted to see? By the way, I'll just throw that out there in case there's something that you guys wanted me to look at. Gold, I'll reference gold really quick. Gold is still hugging this trend line, but which I still think is very important. So I'm specifically looking at 1790. If we break that in gold, then we're probably going to see some sort of pullback as a whole. Do I think gold's bearish? No. Do I think it can consolidate a little bit here? Yes, I do. Silver, knocking its head up against this key resistance. It's down today, but notice how we're failing to close above the 161% extension. And remember, my lines aren't perfect here. You could actually take that and be a little bit more granular with how it's drawn, and you could say, oh yeah, if you hug that very high spike right there, and that high spike, I mean, we're there. We're basically on resistance, and while we're below this, probably this 1960, it's good resistance. We break above 1960, or probably more importantly, like 20. Stelios keeps saying that in the chat room. Yeah, we get above 20, and look out. We could really start screaming. With silver. Let me see here really quick. Nissim says GDX and Newmont Mining. All right, I'll look at them. I'm not a big gold miner, analyst. I don't look at the stuff all the time, so I'll just give you my opinion really quick. Here's the gold. This is a gold miners ETF. I mean, this is a daily going back pretty far. And we're at the 50% retracement, big resistance, right? Divergent relative strength. Risk reward right now is to short this. That's the risk reward. The risk reward is going to favor shorts right here, especially with a divergent relative strength. That doesn't mean that it can't go higher. I'm just, that's exactly where we're at. I mean, it is. Newmont Mining. Well, I guess the thing about Newmont Mining is we're making a lower high. This is another miner, so I don't know. I actually think the GDX looks a little bit cleaner. Newmont Mining not so clear. So there's probably some specific going on with Newmont Mining. Anyway, guys, I am going to let you go. Have a great one. Talk to you. No, I won't talk to you tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning on the Face webinar, but this will be it for the Daily Roundup. So remember, it's a big weekend this weekend, guys. Just try to be a little careful. I'll talk to you soon, and have a great day. Thanks, everyone, for being here, and thanks for supporting ForexAnalytix. Talk to you soon.